the Bitcoin brutality over? We have China doing some military drills on the border of Poland while their banks begin to collapse once again. And they have probably some of the scariest looking charts I've ever seen. I'm going to be showing you today, and we're going to be looking at all of our favorite altcoins, some of the meme coins for the culture, all of the wonderful things within crypto to see how to multiply our bags, joined by these crypto savages on the couches. We got Morel hanging out over here.
What's up,
very
everybody?
daring of you to wear the XRP shirt. Still showing out?
Because we're going back to peg, baby.
Yeah, we're going back to
We're
peg.
going back to peg.
Wow, I
Whatever
don't know
you
if that's
say, man.
bullish or how to take that in today's day and age. Sounds very sketch.
Bearish.
Isaac, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite fantastic.
Yeah?
As-
Excited to work out? You were talking about it before the show.
Yeah.
It's the spice of life, folks. Working out, keeping your blood flowing. It's what it's all about. And welcome to the show. We're powered by Arculus. And everyone in the chat, shout out to you guys. Bob from accounting, Nicole Ministator. I think we're going to have Nicole on tomorrow. We got a call in today from one of our faves on the charts today, but we're going to be having Nicole call in pretty soon. I'm pretty damn excited about that. Juicy does. Truck Dano out there trimming a fence that's a mile long, sweating in the humidity. Very humid outside, very hot, very warm. I sweat quite a bit. But it's a great way to lose weight. I see my abs starting to poke back, and they're starting to come back.
That's a fun feeling.
It's a good feeling, and I'm like 36 years old. I got gray nipple hairs. So
I don't think I wanted to know that.
but now everyone does
Don't
know.
think I wanted
So
to know
there
that.
it is. It's out of the bag. There's no hiding it here. But you guys, one of the best ways to support the channel is to get yourself prepared. With the world moving the way it is, yes, our bags in crypto are set to do pretty damn good, but the world's having some problems. And if you have instances of runs on stores or pandemics, civil unrest, natural disasters, as we're seeing, we got some problems going on in America and a couple of the locations we're going to be covering today. Go ahead and go to basement.supplies and get you some. Go to the, probably, if you're not into prepping yet and you're just starting the process, this is the entry drug, the gateway drug, the EDC Tactical Tool Belt. And, then you can eventually be as cool as me with a man purse. I've upgraded to the man purse. Okay, so this is just additional to the bug out bag. Alex Jones gave me this patch, and my wife put Velcro on the back of it, and we made it into an actual Velcro. So we got all the good stuff there. If you guys are walking around the world watching this shit show, this scam of a currency system that we have right now, this scam of World War III, and you're not prepared, you got to change that. And shout out to Two Pump Crypto Chump with their gifted
Thank you, brother.
Fuck, I appreciate you, man. Two Pump Crypto Chump, very much appreciate everyone that just got the membership. Thank him in the chat, obviously, but then go to the Discord in our description and become part of the OG chat. All of the different gated access chat rooms that we have going on right now. We have Nick dropping just absolute chaotic meme coins that are going up by 5x and then down and then up again. All the freshest. What up, R.A. Daniel? I think it's been a while since I've seen you, R.A. And what, Timothy Maris? All the cool people. So we got some headwinds today, guys. We have obviously Piano Matty B is going to be joining us here in a minute, but we're looking pretty Gucci on the charts, up 2% on the day for Bitcoin at 57.4. It's looking like we might have just a wonderful moment of higher lows being created right here. Holy hell, I love this. You know what? Matty B, one of the best in the business. I want to get him up on the show here today and get his opinions, because some things that he said about a week ago played out to the T on, he was dumping that bucket of cold water on my head. I'm giga bullish on Bitcoin because data is the new gold and the long-term outlook, but Piano Matty B gave us some great insight on the short term. Let's bring him back up. Let's see what diagnosis we got on the charts today. Piano Matty B, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
Unbelievable. Thanks for having me. I just had a nice big old ribeye with the dad, and welcome to the Gray Nipple Club. I'm glad you joined.
Yeah, I'm glad to be part of the club. I made it a little early. I'm about 36 and I just started noticing them. I think the bear market gave me a bunch of extra gray hairs in my my chin that I just didn't deserve, but here we are. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to turn the clock back. Piano Matty B, one of the best in the biz. And if you don't already follow Piano Matty B on YouTube, you're making a huge mistake. You dumped some pretty hard to digest but reasonable information on us last week about the potential pullbacks for Bitcoin. Now, some things that played out to the T. Give us the rundown. Where are we sitting right now, and what you showed last week? Give us some relevance and some kind of context on why I'm so happy to have you back on the show to potentially dump more cold water on my forehead here.
Will do. Let's just see here. Okay, what's going to happen with this chart here? Okay, where are we going?
This is huge. I'm getting into your DMs here. I like this. I get to see the inside in scoop.
This is the Bitcoin chart. So that's my screensaver, actually, so I know where to put all the windows.
Oh, God.
That's not the chart I'm looking at. All of a sudden, the buttons aren't working. 1 second.
Tate died.
There we go. Oh, the button I was pressing now works. Okay. Anyway, so yesterday last week we said as we go up the charts, an equal reset before we can start heading back up is the 61.8% fib. The goldenest of golden ratios. Nature loves this. Mankind loves this. Evolution loves this number. It's really. I put out a short today. You'll get this, Drew. It's in music too, because if you take the chord structure to Don't Stop Believing, F is the 61.8% fib mathematically in music, because what does it want to do? It wants to resolve, right? So 61.8 is the resolution type of event, and I believe we were up. Weren't we over 60 last time we talked? And of course, when we look down at 61.8, it's like I put in 54.4 way back here, just knowing that we love to hit the 61.8. And Lord love a duck if she didn't wick right down to it here. And then, now that I'm looking at this weekly chart again, it's like we really do need a green candle on this week, because 5 red candles in a row does not a healthy bull market metric make, if you know what I mean. Like we don't really do that. But what I wanted to, I did this on my show today, and I thought I'd share it with you guys, is it's the gift of these ranges, the gift of these boring ranges. Now, I've made 3 nibbles on the way up here based on these boring ranges, because when you're in a range, you don't have all the emotional baggage of fear or greed. The only thing you're dealing with is boredom, but you can make unbelievable decisions, because it's not like, oh, the price is going up, I got to get in, or the price is going down, I got to sell. So if we go back to June 22, which is basically 2 years ago, look at this range, 19K up to 25. And then if you notice, it's all below the 200 meter or 200 moving average. And so right around here, I thought, well, everyone's talking about it's going to 10K, it's going to 8K, 9K. There was technical indicators saying it could go there, it could play out. But when you think about the math, the upside based on 16K is so much greater than the downside. So it goes to 8K. Let's say you're down 50%. Doesn't matter. It's gonna pump back up, and you'll be at 16K. So that's when I took that nibble based on all this time in the market. When you get super bored and the price isn't moving, that's really like green flag, green flag, green flag, green flag, green flag. Time to take a nibble. I mean, it couldn't be more clear. What are you gonna do? You try to get in when the price is pumping. It's just a surefire way to lose money. So let's move on to the next phase. Once we busted up here into March 23. So that's basically a year and a bit later, right? We enter here, we leave at 25K, and we get up basically 31K. That's a $6,000 range. We're in there for 7 months. Now look at right here. This is at 27K, and about a year ago is when I started the live streaming after the production video. I was ho-humming. I was like, I think this is a good time to take a nibble because of this massive range. And once we went underneath the 200 moving average, green flag, green flag, green flag, green flag. So now you take a look at the upside versus the downside. We're at 26K. Well, what's the upside? I don't know. It could go to 300K, it could go to 100K, go to 150K. That's a lot of upside. Where could it go? I don't know. Back to 10K. Highly unlikely. The probability of it going going, it could have go to 20. Yeah, sure. But the probability of going higher was way bigger. And so I took a nibble here based on that 200 moving average. And then we move on to now. Let me get this here. There we go. We bump up to 60K here on February. It's hard to believe that was February, 60K. Anyway, with 60K, we bump up to 73. We've been in this range for 7 months. And then, oh my God, Drew, look at this. Lord love a duck. If we didn't go under the 200 moving average.
It's scary,
green flag, green flag, green flag, green flag. And bearing in mind, this whole time, my huddle bags have been packed. Those two nibbles were I backed the truck up for those. That was it. But when it comes under the 200 moving average, man, that's a green flag to buy. And I use the analogy of ribeyes, right? I eat ribeyes. So when they go on sale, I go in, I dump the truck, I pull the truck up and I buy as many as I can because I don't want to be paying retail for ribeyes. I don't want to be paying retail for Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to 150K. I don't want to be buying that ribeye at that point. I want to be buying ribeyes way down low under the 200 moving average.
Man, and there's so much to be said for that process you just showed us. You know, that momentary punch under the 200 MA on, I think it was March 13th or 14th of 2023. But plus now, I mean, those are like the exact moments where I decided to really take advantage of that weakness because I've been under the operation following the 4-year cycle on the time frame of it, not so much the price scale of it. And seeing those momentary dips below that level, I remember that very well. There's many large accounts that were calling for surety that 10K was imminent for Bitcoin, and moving against the grain and not listening to those things has definitely been what's kind of paid off for myself. You know, and so right now we've just had this massive reset. We got two major pieces of fear kind of cooking the sellers into that idea that right now is the time to run. We got Mt. Gox with those creditors getting the access to their Bitcoin to a degree, not all of it, but there is a degree of access that's going to be given. But then also we have the German government just dumping on us. But the positives are still going on in the background. I think people are kind of forgetting about that because we saw the ETF inflows pick up over the last few days. Actually, it's been pretty positive. Bitcoin ETF holders and agencies have been buying the dip. They've been taking advantage of that dip. And then we also have FTX customers, right? That's $16 billion in sidelined blue-balled money who's had to watch this market go from 15,000 all the way up to, you know, the top 73. And now we're sitting here ranging. They're going to be sitting there. I can't imagine the amount of FOMO they've had, knowing that their money is sitting there locked up, watching the markets move up in tandem with that time frame. Now, one thought I had, let me ask you a few questions. So do you think that the Mt. Gox / German government dump narrative is enough to keep cooking Bitcoin price down into that higher 40 price range in the short term? Or do you think the counteraction of the positivity will help kind of balance it out and create a channel essentially?
Well, I think what we've been witnessing too is like if you consider the selling pressure, you would think that we'd be a lot lower. And yeah, we've gone from, 73 to 57. That's not too crazy considering the immense amount of selling pressure, which goes to show that, I mean, these ETF prisons, they have saved us from considerable dumpage. I mean, if they're picking up the slack, it's not retail coming in buying 300 million when Germany's selling 300 million. It's not retail. So these ETFs have been on our side, but you got your Bitcoin badge of honor when you hear FUD and you start getting excited. Oh yeah. Right. It's like, oh yeah, blood on the streets. Right. Oh, perfect. Oh, what? Germany. Oh, what? China. Oh, everything's falling apart. Perfect. Right. I'm going to go take my bottles back and try to get some more money and put it into Bitcoin. That's when you finally made it.
Yep, absolutely, man. And it was interesting when we got the ETF release, we had basically parallel mass selling from Grayscale, like the trust of Grayscale was just, they're fleeing out of it and then going into the spot ETF. So, in the regards to Ethereum, I am of the opinion that we're going to experience some of that in tandem selling because the Grayscale fees for the Ethereum side are actually higher than their fees that were on Bitcoin. So it's actually even cheaper for people to leave the Grayscale ETH trust and then move into the ETH ETF when it is released. And on the idea of this, I mean, you explained the Bitcoin ETFs in a very interesting way, the Bitcoin prison, right? Where they're more kind of locked into that spot. FTX customers, $16 billion on the sidelines waiting to be released, and it looks like it's right around the corner. Do you think that those customers are going to be more inclined to get back into, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum, the larger cap options, or are they going to be more inclined to take higher risks to make up for that time lost, right, and move into smaller market cap projects? Like, what do you think about that? If you were an FTX customer, you had no money, right? It's all been locked up, just got given to you. Are you going to go into Bitcoin and Ethereum at this point of the game, or are you going to be looking a little bit further down the list?
Well, I mean, the big question there is everyone's cost basis, right? So like when and what they're getting paid out in. Do we know that if you're getting paid out token for token, like if you were in Bitcoin, you're getting paid out in Bitcoin at the price that it collapsed? Or is it fair market value? I don't know these things. Do you know these things? Any specifics of it?
Well, it's a cash repayment, so they're not getting the crypto back.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's the question here. Is because there's some lost time on the charts. Like if they were getting their crypto back, they'd be Gucci. You know what I mean? There'd be no problem. But a lot of that has actually it's looking like it's going to be cash. So that's the big thing in my mind. Is, you know, if I'm sitting here watching the markets go up by 300% since I lost access to my money / crypto, me personally, I'm going after the lower market cap projects. You know what I mean? I'm going after, you know, first off the blue chips, the AVAX, the chain links, you know what I mean? The things that have been around, Solana. But you know, it's an interesting thing. I've seen liquidity really spread thin on the lower market cap coins because of this influx, like thousands of meme coins a day, you know. And me and Taco were talking about it. It feels like Solana is deflationary now because there's all these meme coins that have rugged with locked liquidity, right? That Solana is on there and locked. So it's been an interesting thing to watch. But so you got, if you had to wager, do you think that we're going to have a time frame over the next few months where we're able to break out of this range we're stuck in right now, or are we going to have to consolidate before a real good breakout occurs?
Well, there's a couple things. So if we don't have some fundamental narratives that kind of come out of nowhere, and what I mean by that is like, say, banking collapses, because we all know it's just a house of cards waiting. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in 3 months. Eventually, it's going to be happening in China right now. No one's really talking about it, but that'll come to the States. And once that happens, it'll just be slowly. Then all of a sudden, it's an emergency meeting with old booze breath Jerry Papa. It's like, yeah, actually, we're going to lower the fundraiser right away, right? And then boom, we're going to jump up, right? That'll be the next leg up. But make no mistake, there will be one more gift. Let's say we pump up to the 100K and we start bumping our heads on 100K. This is support now. That will be another giftish range where if you missed this range and you missed the other one and the one at 16K, this one is a range. When it comes to like the money from FTX, Bitcoin versus smaller caps, I kind of think of that I don't know if it's an allegory about the old bull and the young bull, where it's the young bull looks down at other cows and goes, hey, let's run down and bang that cow, right? And then the old cow says, well, why don't we just walk down and bang them all? And when I think why I bring that into this conversation is that you could put a bunch of money into these small alts, and then you live the next 2 years with spinning plates, right? It's like, I'm watching them go up and down, watching them going, oh, this one's about to die. Or you can just put it into Bitcoin, and you're pretty much guaranteed to double it. And now we're all numb from a doubling. Oh my God, I don't even get out of bed for a 10x, right?
That's true.
But
That's true.
You want to double your money that you've been waiting for 3 or 4 years, or do you want to live 12 months of these spinning meme coin plates?
You'd say something very valid. You got to live and breathe the charts to ride the altcoins correctly. You know what I mean? And it takes a few cycles of experience to even feel comfortable. Like my first cycle, I battened it down to just Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then a little touch of Chainlink. and a bit of XRP begrudgingly. My God. And, the sense then, like, I used Bitcoin to insulate my losses during the bear market after I'd taken my profits, what I could reasonably take during the last bull market top. I insulated to Bitcoin, and that lost less than all these other altcoins. I mean, a lot of the altcoins are down, 80%, 90% from their all-time highs still. It's a matter of which ones are going to come back and how many of them are going to come back. It's not we're all going to make it. Some of them are not absolutely not going to make it. So that's something very, very reasonable to say, and if you're in crypto, just kind of, you're checking it out maybe once a day, you're not living and breathing Bitcoin and Ethereum, the better bets just on the front end of it. But
just two spinning plates.
You're always full of reason, logic, I appreciate you bringing it out. It does get hard to spin those plates and keep everything together. So one last question. I think this is a big question for the markets at large. We see some pressures with banks. We see some pressures with interest rates. We see some pressures on commercial real estate. You've seen about it in Canada as well. I think Bank of Canada even already had their interest rate cuts, right?
Yeah.
Do you think America is going to follow suit in September and start to eke those rates down, do an interest rate cut, and show that weakness?
Yeah, I actually don't think it's going to be planned. Like, I fully believe that it's going to come one day where there's an emergency meeting, and because these psychopaths know well before we do. It's not like they're getting the information and then having the meeting, right? They know it's about to collapse and they have the meeting. So I don't think it'll be a planned meeting. Oh, on September 21st at the next FOMC meeting, old booze breath Jerry Papo is going to announce a rate cut. I think it's going to be one day we wake up, there's an emergency meeting, and then he's going to do it. And then there we go. There's going to be the leg up. But until that happens, I mean, be prepared to sit in this range for, I don't know, maybe even 4 more months. I hate to say it because that's super boring and it's bad for views and it's bad for content. But hey, we've been here before. This is the bull run. We had the halving and we sit in the weeds and we wonder, what am I doing with my life? What made me come here? I thought this was supposed to be a crazy bull run, and we're just sitting here, right?
I get you. And it's bad for us. The views, the masses are lulled to sleep right now. Bad for us. But good for the audience watching right now because the gains are compounded. When no one's paying attention, things are boring. That's when we move. You know what I mean? So monetarily, it's an excellent thing to see. View-wise, clout-wise, all those things that are part of my job to keep growing the channel, bearish, right? We need the people in the chat. Share the damn show right now. Let's get this message out to everybody, you guys. Piano Matty B, absolutely excellent to have you join me on the show today once again, brother. And let everyone know in the show where to find you. Where can they get all of your technical analysis updates?
Well, thanks for having me. Every morning at 8 a.m. Central Mountain Time, I do a production video followed by a little bit of a chit chat and a live stream. Now, sometimes it's about crypto. Sometimes it's about weird things that happen in life, but it's always fun. We share a cup of coffee for 30 minutes. It's a cup of coffee shared around the world. So if you haven't been, come and take a look at the community. And by all means, share this link. This is a very important show. I always say Blockchain Basement. You don't get a lot of content like this. So when you see it, appreciate it, like it, share the show.
Dude, appreciate you, man. And Matty, let me know next time I can join you on your morning show. I love hopping on there with you, brother. Will do. All right, man. I'll see ya. Dude, I love that guy.
Fire stuff.
He's the best.
I love that guy. He's the first TA person that I took super seriously. And it wasn't because of the jazz or like the piano going on in the background, but it was because the overall just based takes that he has on, we're going to have a price pullback to this. Then it happens. You're like, holy shit, this guy was the only one out of many that was saying that could happen. Obviously there's a lot of people sitting here waiting for 30K, but that 618 definitely played out. That fib, he pulled that fib. There's no denying that. So we got a lot of stories to go over today.
Owen actually found a good one too.
Owen found something today, guys. Hold on. Owen found something. We're playing it. Hold on. We're going in. You ready for this, Owen?
Yeah. Yeah. Go.
That's Owen. Oh, shit, yes. I love so much about the way that you are, Owen. I am very glad that you brought that video to my attention. What was that? Dr. Peppier or something? It was like Dr. Peppier. That was amazing. And then the pizza party, that's just.
We definitely
Jesus
didn't
Christ.
have one of those a couple weeks ago.
Let's turn the blockchain basement into a corporation and then give away tanks. That should be the thing. Like every single one of us in this show needs an MRAP. Shouldn't that be the goal here?
I'll take an M1A1.
Instead of the stupid ass overpriced clothing and shit like that. Oh God, the XRP. All right, we're moving on. I'm not going to go after XRP. Maybe it'll regain its peg. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll regain its peg. Hopefully it does. Jesus. All right, so. All right, we might start a meme coin about this. Pig Picasso. First of all, there's a pig out here that's a painter, and he's selling pictures of things that he painted for 20,000 pounds a piece. So we can make it too. Here's the global money supply about to explode. The purchasing power is about to get crushed. This is the money supply. The money printer's turning back on. Y'all know what happened to your purchasing power as a result of this amount of printing, right? It's pretty clear that something is broken in the financial system, and most attribute this to someone sneezing in Wuhan and then shutting the world down on a global scale. Who would have thought there'd be repercussions? The wheels are coming off of the train of traditional finance, and we're here to experience disgusting gains as it collapses into our laps.
Yeah.
Now, this is just something to keep in mind. This is Don Alt dumping some cold water. Cope made up resistance at this point. 80K plus here. So this is where we're all just feeling super, super bullish. Good above here. Now we're not so good. Terrible below here. Okay, support? Question mark? A goated support. If we do come down to this level in the low 40s, holy shit, you guys, you better count that as a blessing, because that'd be a monumental pullback. Everything collapsed. World War III started. We bidding this anyways because we are absolute degenerates. And this is where support Capo is going to be tweeting about if everything goes to shit, that will never be hit. So just a rundown on the bearish take from Don Alt, probably one of the most based TA people out there. And this is a conversation about the 4-year cycle. Now, I have had kind of a counter mainstream thought when it comes to the 4-year cycle. I'm starting to see it discussed a little bit more. This is about when to sell, when the expected blow off top from the overall crypto market should come, given its current velocity. And this is from CryptoCon_ on Twitter. For 14 years, Bitcoin's 4-year pattern has remained unchanged until March 2024 came around. This is the first time that Bitcoin has proven with price that the pattern may be changing. The alternate theory has been leaving clues. The April technical top in 2021, the June technical bottom in 2022, and April, the technical first early top in 2023. The second early top should have taken place early around July 19th of this year, but instead the price high came in March, making the first alternate theory confirmation. Why does it matter? It's because there's a potential that the top could be coming April of 2025, and the velocity of the price increase on Bitcoin, given the ETF allowance, has broken some of the baseline ideas about the previous bull market. So move my face out of the way, Owen, so we can just kind of get a grasp on what we're looking at here. So basically you have the alternate theory sin waves. These are what these are at the bottom here. These red dots are the tops that we're highlighting. And essentially this is highlighting that a potential top could be coming at the end of this year. Really beginning at the end of this year into the middle of 2025. But this could make for a situation where, the targeted top being at the end of 2025 might not be happening. We might actually be looking at a more aggressive Bitcoin bull market cycle that has accomplished previous all-time highs ahead of schedule. Because as you can see, here's the halving of the last cycle, and the price was nowhere near this all-time high. Now, we're currently just after the halving, and we are ranging at these all-time highs already. This is a more aggressive upswing with even more money in the market. This is a harder mountain to move that is moving faster than we've seen since the very first bull market. Obviously, the first bull market, hyper bullish, the most bullish. And yes, it did accomplish those highs before the halving. But, you know, we were operating off of these generally similar type patterns of these two bull markets. Now, what do you guys think? And let me know in the chat, what do you guys think of this? Do you think that the velocity of the price movement of Bitcoin is setting up for a situation where we're going to have an early blow off top? Or is it going to be right on track and the blow off top will come in September or November of 2025? Like, what say you, Morel? Are you targeting any specific time frame here?
I think something interesting is going to go down in November, regardless of this year or next year. Possibly blow off top this November.
So even earlier, potentially.
Possibly. Because if you look back at the charts, there's always some sort of reaction before Christmas, around November, what have you. And almost every other year, it does the opposite of the previous year.
Okay.
But I think that it definitely has a chance of something major happening this November.
Yeah. Well, and we got the election. You got to sell the people on hope.
There it is, right there.
I'm thinking it's going to be bullish this November.
Money printer,
probably
election, bullish.
Major problem next November.
Absolutely. Again,
every other year. That lines up. Isaac, what say you?
Yeah, I was from like even the beginning of this year, and like I've been saying November as well. End of November, gonna be a little blow off top maybe.
Okay.
But even early 2025, I'd say a bunch of price action is going to move.
Okay.
I want to say February.
That's kind of roughly what I'm thinking here. And the reason why I came up with this idea of thinking outside of the 4-year cycle in general was because we had the ETFs allowed, right?
Yeah.
Just the fact that America opened up the gates for an ETF. Now, they're talking about it in the chat. We got Solana ETFs being talked about.
Link
ETFs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different altcoins that are going to have at least applications for their ETFs. And, in general, I'm trying to stay true to the 4-year cycle, but there are some signals that are showing me we might be setting up the hyper velocity moment where we accomplish too much too quick and then pull back. That's definitely a potential to think about, you guys. So before we get into the rest of this chaotic news, Owen, let's run the mid-roll.
The Blockchain Basement is powered by Arculus. This is the world's leading crypto cold storage where you can easily secure, buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication to make sure to keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure to support the channel. Use code BASE10 and click the link down in the description to get your hands on your security today.
Yeah, damn. We gotta get Morel's computer. He's got some charts he's been putting together, man. Blockchain Basement, the best. Do you think IONet.net can be a good project? I do absolutely believe IONet can be a good project and will be a good project. I am a current holder of IO. Let's check out the price action. I know it's a pretty damn viable opportunity here. I remember IO was adjacent to, I believe it's decentralized computing power type system that they're putting together. Pretty new project. We only got about maybe 2 months. This is June is the beginning of this data. It released at $4.50. Right now at $2.30. My entry point was somewhere in this range. I am definitely down on IONet.net. But the reason why I'm continuing to hold this thing is because I think that the overall use case for blockchain to find that real stride, all these major companies want AI to happen. Like, it's clear as day they want AI to happen, and you can't really truly make AI happen without decentralized computing power. And a lot of people don't think about how much information is needed to operate AI, like large language models, even if they're isolated, are a huge data set. And so IO.net, Aether, different projects like that I feel are very, very bullish, along with kind of the decentralized rendering that we liked with Render. You know what I mean? That whole thought process behind it. Let's look at Aether right now, just real quick while we're on this subject. Decentralized GPU. Aether has been looking damn strong. Look at that shelf, ladies and gentlemen. You can't even tell that anything's gone wrong in crypto with Aether. This is telling us something. And it's a new project, so I'm not worried about this turning into XRP where it just like is staying stagnant.
Strong.
I definitely like this.
If that's a launch, that's one of the strongest launches.
It is a launch.
That's a strong launch.
You know what I'm saying? This is a damn good 265 million market cap. Plenty of room to grow for this thing. And the overall idea of this is that large companies will make shitloads of money if they can basically put people out of work and get more done with AI. You know what I mean? It's all about the bottom line. Of course, they're going to try and do it. It'd be silly of us and kind of too hopeful to think that they wouldn't.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Aether, IO.net, they're kind of in that same thought process. Let's run through the other stories I got here real quick. Left-wing French coalition, the New Popular Front, proposes a 90% tax on incomes above 400,000 euros to fund their economic program, aka the World War III situation they found themselves in from a pansy named what's his name, Macron. Is Macron dating a dude as well? Like he might be. I need to double verify this.
I haven't seen that one.
I'm getting Big Mike vibes out of Macron. Now, I don't think this is going to go through. I don't think that people are going to allow a 90% tax on these incomes above 400,000 euros. And honestly, it's pretty chaotic to think that that's okay, to take 90%.
It's crazy that anyone put that on a sheet of paper.
I know. Like,
this is a good idea.
I mean, who thought that this is a good idea? In the place, the La Revolution, you know, like they've revolted very effectively in the past. And, you know, shout out to the French. You know, everyone, we went through the Revolutionary War here in America, but we didn't do it by ourselves. They eventually showed up. So yes, they were well behind schedule, but the French did eventually show up, and you know we didn't do it by ourselves, beating the British ass in 1776.
Over 3 cent tea tax.
And that is something to think about.
Tea tax.
Yeah, that shows you how soft people are right now.
3 cent tea tax.
Like we got assholes like this is a YouTuber that's been elected to EU Parliament. It's like, hey, they gave me $60,000 a month to basically do nothing. I come here and sign this piece of paper. Hopefully you all can eat this month. And this is fine, right? We can just hire YouTubers to make, tens of thousands of dollars a month and make video content, basically just mocking us about it. And this is engagement farming at its finest. Absolutely.
I'm blown away. I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, this guy's elected from Cyprus to the EU Parliament and reveals how much money they're allocated to spend per month. Let's see here. So 60,000 euros per month. That is just
to a certain extent. I almost think we need more of this.
Expose it.
To just expose everything and show how much of a shit show it is.
You're damn right.
Yes, we need this.
Yeah, it's healthy.
It's kind of sucky that it could be promoted by kind of douchebaggy people, but nevertheless, I think this is better than what's going on there now.
Yeah. Absolutely. People talking about they fought from the woods. They delayed the Nazi movements. Some were not wussies. True. Truck Dano, always dropping the knowledge. I think Truck Dano's out there building a fence right now. I used to run a fencing business. That brings back like hardcore memories. I ran a fencing business for years. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see that he's calling out it, but it's a little weird to see
it is weird, but
YouTubers being like, Zelensky was an actor and now he's like pushing us to World War III. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? That's a little weird, right? And Mr. Beast comes out. He's like, I want to run for president. If they look like,
honestly, he has a potential chance of winning,
and that scares the shit out of me.
That he has a potential
I locked
chance.
360 million Americans in a cage with 20 million military-aged illegal immigrants to see who comes out on top. Follow this channel for more. Like that feels weird, bro. Like
Squid Game. Let's go.
The Squid Games. Yeah, it's so. Let's get through all the rest of these charts here. We got some U.S. bankruptcies, 346 bankruptcy filings year to date, the highest since the 2008 crisis aftermath. There were 75 bankruptcies in June alone, surpassing the COVID peak. Looks like things are going great. The wheels obviously coming off of the train tracks here. Not a great move. But you know what? Bob from accounting brings up a good point. Reagan was an actor too, but actors were different. Wasn't Reagan like a based actor? You know what I mean? He wasn't like Zelensky's like winging his thing around in like a skin suit or something like that before he got in. Ronald Reagan never danced around in like a skin tight, I almost feel like you're getting, Isaac is getting pissed.
Okay, touchy.
You're getting
gay as shit.
I'm getting, he comes in, he shocked me, Isaac, about the whole sketch thing. You know what I mean? If someone's gay, they're fine. You just leave me alone. I don't want to hear about it.
It was funny though.
You know, the sketch thing, it's
sketch was plowed by a big burly black man. And it was leaked all over Twitter. My eyes will never be the same.
God damn it. I wish I didn't know these things. You know, this is where communication is just a little too much.
Yeah.
You know, just times like that make you wonder. So this also, we have a Jingji Bank. Is that how you say this? Jianji?
Good for me.
Is that Jingji?
Yeah, it's good for
Jingji?
me.
Jingji Bank of China going under. More bank collapses happening. I think they have some video. People are out here chanting, "Give me back my money." They're never going to give it to you. This is what you get when you're in I mean, we had it in Silicon Valley Bank. You know what I mean? This is just the average person getting rugged by the system they trust. And that same system they trust is the one that's saying that crypto's a scam, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, they'll hire armed guards to keep you away from your own finances. That's great. No problem there. Meanwhile, China is also conducting military drills on the Polish border with a show of support with Belarus. Belarus, a Russian ally. And now we have Chinese troops building up on the NATO border.
What?
And this is the largest military buildup in human history. And no one is talking about
I
this.
had no idea this was going on.
It's a problem that nobody knows, because this is a situation where it's such a big conflict building up that my son may in fact have to fight this same war that's building up right now. And you know what? I'm sure if it pops off and we do go to World War III, I'm going to get drafted, probably, unless they don't want me because my gray nipple hairs. That could be a potential, you know.
They want you because of your great nipple
They
hairs.
could want me because of my nipple hairs. That's a good point, Morel. Thank you for that.
I don't have a choice.
You got to go all beekeeper up in there. Who saw the beekeeper?
I do.
Did you see the
Yep,
beekeeper?
it was pretty good.
I liked it. It was cheesy, but it was good.
Yeah.
Jason Statham, he's always the same character, but he stays consistent with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the FBI agent, that was so aggravating. The FBI agent, who's this white man in here? Like, you know, it's like, what the fuck? Like, you know, how's that okay? They could just do that. It's just a little awkward. You know, that's a little awkward. I'm gonna get so banned right now. Okay,
I already got banned. Zachary Martin was saying I was canceled.
Good.
After, yeah, it's great. I've done it.
I'm glad you canceled Isaac
myself.
It's good for him. Builds character. So this is the U.S. banking infrastructure selling off. We got New York City Bank down 69% year to date. SoFi down 37% year to date. PGC down 30%. INDB down 27%, and Bank down 8%. Now, this is basically your hit list on the next to die, and likely these have large FHLB ratings, which means that they owe more than they make, on top of the fact that a lot of the securities that they hold in these commercial real estate investments are well underwater right now because crime is rampant in these shithole city centers and companies are leaving in droves. So there's a compounding issue going on right now. When you have a loss of a rule of law, then people that are highly paid stop going to the city center because they don't want to get hit in the back of the head, and they set up some office somewhere else, and you're going to experience value increase on the locations outside those cities. So you can actually make money out of the situation. Buy the suburbs, right? I bought the suburbs of Atlanta.
Yep.
So what's going on there? It's going pretty damn good. And then buying the suburbs of Denver. You know what I mean? Same thing. Silicon Valley came in, bottom up. What's that?
I was actually looking at land in Wyoming yesterday.
Dude. Me and Nick have been floating the idea of Wyoming land for a while. My wife would never do it though because it's too cold. You're down with that cold?
But it really doesn't matter because it's so open that you can find 30 acres for 30 grand. I mean, you can find some really stupid deals, like maybe 50 acres for $10,000. But those are way out in the middle of nowhere. But still, 50 acres that you can flip in the next 5-10 years.
Or maybe just keep. Like if you buy the outskirts of Cheyenne, you're going to have some growth there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you can get a good deal and get 50, 100, 200 acres. I mean, it's all uncharted.
Dude, I was talking to my buddy who is trying to start a family in San Diego, of all places. And I just sat him down. I didn't sit. I was on the phone with him. And I was like, if you don't listen to anything else I say in life, listen to this. I bought 2 acres in Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, for $240,000. And he about wanted to puke because the houses out there are $1 million for a hole in the wall. Like it's a shithole, what you get for up to $1 million. And he's trying to start a family. I just really, really want to emphasize that buying low can mean also in the real estate market, buying the suburbs, the outskirts of these places, because people are fleeing in droves. And, honestly, if you're in the city, just please leave. I don't want, we need to decentralize our locations, guys. Why are we making it so easy for them to just lock you in one big building and then a big portion of the population is gone, right? Yep. That's just a thing. So, now, what do we got here? Oh, this is kind of related. This is from Marty Party. Jerome Powell just testified live that when inflation is back to 2%, never going to happen, the housing market will return to pre-pandemic levels. This is so stupid. He called a real estate pullback to pre-pandemic levels. Okay, sure. Here's the average home in the U.S. from Zillow, $700K to $450. So he's talking about a 40% dump in the housing sector. Now, as I would love to see this happen. Are we going to see real estate crash, Merle? Like, give me your honest advice.
If we do, the whole world is just going to burn.
Can they go? I mean, they've already had 90% losses in commercial real estate.
That's what I'm saying. If it goes any further, all of the shucking and jiving they've done with backroom deals, the whole world is going to burn.
It's almost like a system built upon leveraged debt and fantasy land stands at risk now. This is crazy. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Jerome Powell, for these insightful words. And honestly, you guys, I don't think we're ever going to see a back to normal. And Build Back Better was a scam, getting back to normal, the new normal, right? I don't think that there's any going back.
No, there would have to be some sort of human evolution for it to be normal again.
Right, man. It's crazy to think. And, there was a momentary pullback like Boulder. It had, 10, 20, maybe even up to 30% pullback in Boulder. Now those prices are right back to cooking up to the north side. But I will say one thing that might be positive in regards to what Jerome Powell is saying. He's saying that there's going to be a return back to 2% inflation. I don't think that's the case, but I do think inflation is going to actually come down. We've seen lumber prices come down drastically. We've seen wheat prices come down drastically. We've seen a lot of prices on the commodity side come and kind of reset back to their levels.
Is coffee still up there?
Coffee, I think actually you should look. You should find out where coffee's at. But the thing about real estate is land is not easily reproduced or produced more of unless you're China dredging islands outside of Australia getting ready for World War III, and that's not even that easy. There's not a bunch of new land being made, and also the average age of a construction worker is somewhere around 50 years of age right now. There is not a new workforce coming in to replace these intelligent, experienced construction leaders when they retire. There is not a slew of young men that are coming in here and ready to build houses. Everyone's been sold on this idea that the office job is the way to go and live comfortably and rely on AC, no problem, buddy, and hopefully you get calluses at the gym only. That's kind of the basic premise that our society has moved into, and it's ended up with a large need for experienced construction people. So if you're young and you got a good head on your shoulders and a good pair of hands, construction, honestly, I think is a very, very strong thing to look at right now. There's a definite need. And also we talk about kids, family, safety. We talk about all those things here on the channel. This is an interesting thing to keep in mind. It's from the Clay County Sheriff's Office. Did you know with the combined salary of the 87,000 new IRS agents at $81,000 per year, you could put a police officer at a $55,000 salary in every single public school in the nation, 97,000 of them to be exact, and still have 31,000 police officers or $1,700,000 left over. Actually, no, that's billion. $1,700,000,000 left over. Now you know they're not interested in safety or security. They're after you. This is incredible to see. Like, this is based as fuck. This is the sheriff's office. Be like, hey, they actually don't give a shit about kids and family and safety.
Based.
And they could give a shit, but you know what? Instead, what they care about is
control.
Controlling you, taxing you some more. What do we got from Dion Gregg? He's leaving construction. Don't do it. You'll hate your life. Oh, sad, Dion. I mean, I wonder what you do for construction, because I used to hire and work in the HR side of construction and run my own construction business. I miss it often.
What haven't you done?
Been nice. I don't know. I ran a fencing and deck business, and that's kind of when I was a young lad, you know what I mean? Indeed. They would put us in the back of a trailer and we would ride around Louisville, Colorado and build fences. And then I learned how to do that and decided to open my own business, you know what I mean? And painting as well. I started my own painting business and fencing. I've done quite a bit of shit. Yeah. Actually, now that you're making me talk about it and think about it, there's a lot of things there. Become multi-diversified. You know what I mean? It makes you strong in the workplace.
And coffee is trying to break its all-time high as we speak.
Coffee's trying to break its all-time high as we speak. This is not good, Morel. You did not give me good news about coffee, okay? Coffee is like, if we lose the ability to buy coffee, I'm losing my shit. Yep. That is oh God.
Switching to cocaine.
Switching to cocaine. Switching to bump. All right. So God bless you. What do we have here? This is kind of interesting. So Kim.com talking about a complaint. We may have to manually review our direct messages to comply with government request. What happened to encrypted DMs? And he added Elon Musk. So he's looking, what the hell? Why don't I have encrypted direct messages? What happened to this plan, Elon? Elon responded, it currently works in a clunky way for one-to-one messages if you turn it on. We're working on making it easy to use and apply the group messages too. X audio and video calls are automatically encrypted. So we're talking about DM specifically, and then who all chimes in? The Hosk. Charles Hoskinson comes in from the left ropes, the top ropes with the elbow, the freedom elbow. I keep saying that this is a solved problem, Elon. I love you, man. Adopt DIDS. You can add any crypto you want and have both verified tweets and perfect forward secrecy. At this point, I'd even do the implementation for free. I have Scala devs.
Bullish and savage.
I mean, very savage. Hopefully bullish. I don't know. He's offering the work for free. Like, how much more of a damn charity do we like? This world is so used to charity. You know what I mean? Yeah. But its secrecy is all right. But then this is such a complex issue because you have this, conversationally, we used to have a physical public square where the only stop to free speech you could do to me is by physically shutting me up. If I'm talking, now I'm talking to everyone out there that's watching the show digitally. Most of our communication digitally done. Yep. We don't have a digital bill of rights. We don't have that, because it's a private company. That's their prerogative to shut you down. But it doesn't matter if the rest of the world is on there and that's where all the information is. You lose. They won. That's how that conversation feels. It's a little aggravating.
Somebody clip that.
And I even hear like libertarians that's like, it's a private company. They can do what they want. Free country. But then if most conversations had on that end, I mean, first of all, is this too much to ask to have encrypted direct messages on Twitter? I mean, you kind of need them. It's pretty spicy on there lately.
I think you need them everywhere.
Don't you? Shouldn't that be all right?
It's the right of existence.
Right, man.
Of just existing.
We paid taxes. Why are they not using some of the tax money to ensure that we have our constitutionally protected rights on a digital atmosphere?
Ask Ukraine.
Ask Ukraine. That is a good point, Isaac. Unbelievable. It just makes you want to. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack when I really start thinking about the psyop of all this. And now we have to like think about paying for our privacy on a grand scale. Like, how far from
paying taxes on that privacy?
Paying taxes on that privacy too. That's fantastic. Good stuff. Let's get off that before I have a heart attack. So apparently there's a bunch of smoke going to be showing up, you guys. This is from Dutch Sense. Heads up to all viewers in the USA, an absolutely incredible amount of smoke from God knows how many different wildfires has developed and is spreading across the entire country. First view of the USA on the GOES satellite. Second view is the Northwest. Canada sending smoke towards the USA from Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan. That is such a fun word to say. Oh, no! The thing is not showing. Hold on. Well, at least the podcast listeners had a good go. Let's look at this, because this shows the actual, what do you call it? The satellite imagery. Let's check this out. Is it going to work? There we go. So first of all, Saskatchewan, one of my favorite words to say. This is a fantastic word. Third view is southern Canada and North Dakota, USA border. So much smoke, dwarfing last year, it would appear. Prepare for poor air quality. Children and animals outdoors, elderly, and those with respiratory conditions all need to take some kind of precaution on this and minimize exposure if in some way, if possible. Now, this is when... Is
that here now?
It's building up. Yeah, it's coming to... We're in Georgia, so It's not hit us yet, but it looks like C90 FTW is already seeing it. It hits...
I remember when it happened last time. That was...
It's bad.
Strange.
It's very bad.
To go outside and see orange sky and fire is nowhere near us.
Mm-hmm.
That was strange.
Well, it moves up into those little jet streams, and then it gets dumped on us like all the way downstream. This is actually... bullish for face masks? Question mark. Like, are they finally useful? You know what I mean? Are we finally can make use of all those damn COVID masks that are laying around the place, littering the world? I mean, they might have a use case. You know, I'm just trying to find a way to use them. They made,
less soot on your face.
Less soot on your face. There you go. I remember working a couple guard jobs outdoors during a forest fire in Boulder. You remember that when Boulder County had that line of fire? Mm-hmm. That was bad. And I finally used my COVID mask with a smile on my face, but you couldn't tell because it was, a reasonable. But, if you want to get a gas mask and just go extra on this, support the damn channel.
Supplies, baby.
Let's
I was
go
just
here.
about to say it.
I know. We got gas masks on here. Let's see here. Gas mask. Type 5. You can kind of freak out your neighbors too while you wear this thing around town, and maybe just wear it to the grocery store, rubbing it on them. I did this a few times.
Oh, you actually?
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
People treat you differently. You know what I mean? They don't ask you to please put your bags back or please put the cart back. They don't really want to ask you anything. If you're walking around the grocery store.
Psychopath. I love that. I need to get
They're just making sure your hands are free and that you don't have danger noodles in your hands. And then, basically they'll just look the other way. So support the channel and pick yourself up one. If you don't already have gas masks for yourself and your family, you're missing out. And you can be supporting us here, and maybe we're going to be able to get Owen a salary. If we can sell enough gas masks and save enough people, we will get Owen a salary someday. I believe in us. I believe in these guys here on this channel. We're gonna go work out now, but there's one more thing. We got to look at the markets and see what the biggest deals are in altcoins right now.
PopCat up 27.68% on the day.
PopCat is popping off.
27.68%.
I gotta go see PopCat. I've been watching that thing for a damn while here.
It's been going.
Let's see. They tagged me and said, "Holy shit! $530 million market cap. What is going on with this world?" Liquidity could be a little bit more robust on this. So keep in mind there. Jesus, look at that. The animal spirits have returned to the market in the form of PopCat. What in the hell? what is this? Why is this? I understand the meme's been now available on Bybit. That's the thing.
That's wild.
Holy God, they got on Bybit. Let's go to the Twitter, see how active they are. They probably got a pretty big account. 32,000 followers, not too terribly much. Let's see your Germany
500 million
coin.
market cap.
Look at this stupid cat too. What a fool! But he's looking cute. You know, he's like a cute seizuring kitty cat. You know, very nice. I can see the use case for this. Just watching a shivering cat on the screen. What an insane daily candle that is for this thing, though. Holy God!
It's like coffee.
Just on a few days. Like if you're taking advantage of this fear of it, just even in the last like 2 days, you're up 50% on this stuff. The volatility is the price you pay for that performance. Do you pick some of this up?
I've had this for a couple months now.
Okay.
So I've been just building it up.
I like this, Isaac. This is a deep cut. I mean, and you've had to go through some losses. You know,
Some losses. Yeah.
well, I look at Hello Labs,
I don't want to talk about it. Man.
but we got to acknowledge it. But then you have big wins. This is a big win.
This is a huge win.
Very nice. Very nice work. All right. Well, you know, Popcat on Solana, apparently on its way to $1 billion market cap. Holy shit, what a world we live in right now. Wow. Incredible. What's on sale, though? Let's go to the 7-day and let's see the biggest sales. And shout out to Celestia holders. I got some myself. And it's waking back up in the $7 range. It is not dead. E-Gold chaotically up here. I still hate E-Gold for the change to Multiverse X, but
Elron.
yeah, I mean, it used to be Elron. That's what I thought it was. That's what I'm used to it being. Is it? Is E-Gold dead, or is this going to pump? Like, we got to see this chart here. It's up by 14%. Very, very
Man,
low.
If it pumps, good God, $400.
I mean, it's got a little inflation problem. We can see a little bit of an inflation sickness. Let's see how many. So we're just under $1 billion market cap, total supply and max supply. So it's almost got all of its supply out. 86%. Goddamn. I mean,
I was bullish on it hard last bull run, obviously.
well, and it did really good last bull market.
Yep.
We only have one actual bull market of data on this token.
What is the dip in between the two highs?
Let's see here.
Yeah.
It dipped down to 78 or all the way down to 63.
Also, it's at half.
$63. And that was kind of the top of the recent year and a half. That's
Interesting.
something interesting to think about
So
there.
we're at a 50% retrace.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
God, this would be such a stupid, retarded project to pump too. Like, it doesn't deserve it. That's why it's probably going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't have nice things in life sometimes. This is one of those things. We got to find a deal here that makes sense, though. I mean, Jesus, if you want to date, I don't even want. Brett is finally coming back. It's over $1 billion market cap, though. Queasy, not doing it. IMX, Ondo. That's the sale. That's the sale. Arweave and Ondo. Those are the ones that I'm most bullish on for like the long term and the upside potential for them. Ondo and Arweave, those are probably the best deals out on the crypto market right now. What a show. This is a good show. Now, and really out there in the chat, you guys share the stream. Wake up the damn retail people, would you? Everyone's just asleep and hiding behind the wheel. Like, make fun of them. Shame them. We need to bring back bullying. Don't you think?
Please.
Don't you
I
think?
agree with you 100%.
Bring back
I'm very
bullying.
heavy
Make
on this.
bullying great again. Also,
Preach.
Velo,
Velodrome.
Ondo, and what was the third one? Arweave.
Bunch of people were talking about
Those are on
Miria.
sale.
It's a great gaming token right
You
there.
like Miria?
It's really cheap right now.
And some XLR.
XLR.
Dude, I've been looking for a good gaming token.
Miria, GFL. Those are my
think
top
so?
2 gaming tokens right
Okay,
there.
let me look at Miria real quick before we go. We're going a little over. Sue me. Unbelievable. MYR Miria. Is it the black logo here?
Yeah.
Let's go in. Oh, and pull this up real quick. I'm going to judge this gaming token. Maybe I can find some hope. It's going to be tough.
It's cheap right now, though.
It is cheap right now. Is the game good?
It's like a whole ecosystem of different games.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, Isaac.
If I remember correctly.
We're going to need to dig into this, man, because I want to find a good gaming token.
As long as it's better than Wombat.
That's true. That's true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading out. Appreciate every single one of you out in the chat. And keep in mind, this show is powered by Arculus, the world's leading cold storage wallet where you can easily buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication. And it is awkwardly rubbed, each single one of them, by Isaac before it leaves the door. You can get 10% off by using code BASE10. Link down in the description. Support the channel. Share this. Smash the like. Yell at me in the comments section. Make fun of my hair. I don't care. Complain about something, damn you. We need to get these people awake. All right. I'm going to go lift some weights. I'll see you tomorrow.
No hair, don't care.